let's today talk about that nice sound that you hear when you listen to the recitation of the Quran that comes from the bridge of the nose. Now, the bridge of the nose, why is that a title here? Because if you remember, we were talking about the exits of the letters. We said there are 5 general exits from the emptiness of the mouth and the throat itself, the tongue, the lips. That's 4. And the 5th one is the bridge of the nose. And we save that for today because the bridge of the nose is really an exit for one of the attributes of the letters and not a letter itself, as you'll see. Really, we covered all of the letters, but there's still a special feature that has its own exit in Arabic. We need to talk about it. So that exit, which is the 5th and final exit, is the bridge of the nose. The author said, the Ghunnah is a sweet sound, which is an attribute of the noon and the meme, whether or not they have a vowel. Being an attribute means that it does not stand alone, this Ghunnah. It doesn't come out by itself. Rather, it is built into the noon and the meme, as we'll see here, meaning that it is stuck to them. In other words, the noon comes from the tongue. You say noon, noon. And the meme comes from the lips. So you say meme, meme. And when pronounced, either one of these 2 letters, there is a sound that comes out of the nose along with them. That is the Ghunnah. The Ghunnah. Its exit is from the bridge of the nose, the Khayshum, which is the extent of the nose, the part closest to the forehead. And more details about that will be given, God willing. If one were to squeeze his nostrils closed while pronouncing the noon or the meme, the Ghunnah would not appear, and the difference in sound can be noticed. Yani, you'll notice how much bass drops out of those letters. So if we just say noon, 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 that's normal. Likewise, meme, 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 that's normal. But if I squeeze my nostrils closed and then I say dude, 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 beep, beep, beep. If I release my nostrils, noon, meme. If I close them, dude, beep. So that Ghunnah, that sound that comes out of the nose, is built into the noon and it's built into the meme. If one were to squeeze his nostrils closed while pronouncing the noon or the meme, the Ghunnah would not appear, and the difference in sound can be noticed. Therefore, it is associated with the noon and the meme. It is incorporated into them. Ibn al-Jazari said, وَغُنَّةٌ مَخْرَجُهَا الْخَيْشُومُ. You can stretch that dhamma there because this is a piece of poetry. وَغُنَّةٌ مَخْرَجُهَا الْخَيْشُومُ. And the exit of the Ghunnah is the bridge of the nose. The cases in which the Ghunnah is expected. There are several places where it is expected for one to do the Ghunnah. The first is the noon and the meme with a shadda. The doubled noon and the doubled meme. They always have an outstanding ghunnah, such as inna lamma, inna lamma. It is stronger in the noon than in the meme. The second case is the meme that has a sukoon. It's called meme sakina. You're going to have to get used to some names if you want to understand the tajweed, right? So meme sakina. Know this word sakina. It's going to come back because we'll talk about, with Allah's permission, the noon sakina and the lam sakina. The one that has sukoon. Sukoon means there's no vowel on the letter. The second case is the meme that has a sukoon, the meme sakina. When falling before the ba. And example is ambi. Ambi. So originally it's am, then B. B. But the meme comes from the lips, and the ba comes from the lips. Meme and ba are sisters in exit. So then when the meme is sakina and it's followed by a ba, then you're going to make a light meme and prepare the ba. So you say B. The third case is the case of hiding the noon sakina, hiding it. Hiding the noon sakina, but that's a long chapter there. So we're only going to take one example of hiding the noon sakina, such as man can. So you hide the noon. You don't say the noon because noon comes from the front of your tongue. Now, if you studied this information well, you know noon comes from the front of your tongue. Noon, noon. And kaf comes from the back of your tongue. Kaf. So what we have is a noon sakina before a kaf. So originally we would say men can. So the tongue goes to the front, men, and then the tongue goes to the back, can. Men can. But the special rule of hiding the noon means we're going to prepare the next letter, which is the kaf, and we're going to bring the ghunnah out. The reason we're bringing this ghunnah out is because we're hiding the noon. Yani, we're not going to say men can, we're going to say man can. So think of the word, for example, mink, M-I-N-K, mink in English, or tank, or mango. How do you spell those? M-I-N-K. But do you say mink, or tank, T-A-N-K? Do you say tank? No, you say tank. You bring it from the back of your tongue. Or mango. Do you say mango? I'd like a mango smoothie, please. No, you don't say that. Really, what you're doing then is you're hiding that N that's really from the front of your tongue. You're hiding that N, and instead you're getting the next letter ready, the letter that's in the back. So you're saying instead of mango, you're saying mango, mango, or tank. You're really hiding that noon that's supposed to come from the front of your tongue, and then you're bringing that k from the back. Tank. So like that here, man can. But in Arabic, you're going to bring the Ghunnah out. In English, we wouldn't say tank. I'd like a mango smoothie, please. So, but in Arabic, especially when you recite the Quran, you're going to bring out that Ghunnah. Man can. And that Ghunnah is evidence for the noon that you're hiding. The fourth case is some cases of merging the noon. That also has its own chapter, so we'll go into the details when we get to it. Now, we don't want to talk about merging noon. We really want to talk about Ghunnah. That's the point of this chapter. But this chapter overlaps with other chapters. So there's a chapter of hiding the noon. That has something to do with Ghunnah. So now we're just going to bring out the Ghunnah aspect of that chapter. Also, we have the chapter of merging the noon. Those are going to come. So the chapter of merging the noon overlaps with the chapter of Ghunnah. So we're going to save the details for merging the noon when we get to it. And we only want to really focus on the Ghunnah. So the fourth case, or the fourth, is some cases of merging the noon, such as man yaqul, man yaqul, man yaqul. The origin is man yaqul, man yaqul. So originally it's man yaqul. So that noon, that's the reason why there's a Ghunnah involved here, because Ghunnah is an attribute of a noon or a meme. If there's a Ghunnah, then there should be a noon or a meme somewhere. But we're not going to pronounce this noon in this case in man yaqul. Instead, we're going to merge that noon into the ya. And this is not a case of hiding. This is not hiding the noon. This is merging the noon. That's why the ya is going to get a shadda. Man yaqul. Man yaqul. But you're going to bring the Ghunnah out as evidence for the noon that got blended. The noon that got fused into the next letter, the ya. Man yaqul. Man yaqul. If I hold my nose, man yaqul. Man yaqul. I'm blocking it. Man yaqul. The Ghunnah is an attribute of the noon, not the ya. In man yaqul, we have a noon here, we have a ya here. Why are we bringing out the Ghunnah? Because it's an attribute of the noon, not the ya. But it is preserved. The Ghunnah is preserved as evidence for the noon, which is now gone. Man yaqul. It's gone now, that noon, inserted into the ya. This also happens with the waw, such as min waraihim, min waraihim, min waraihim. Originally, it is min waraihim, min waraihim. But we merge the noon into the waw, and then it becomes min waraihim, and we bring the Ghunnah out of our nose for the noon that's now gone, fused into the next letter. That Ghunnah is the evidence that there was a noon there. So when you recite the Quran, make sure your Ghunnah is nice and clear, not too weak. The duration of the Ghunnah is 2 harakas, 2 counts. And a count is the time it takes to bend a finger or to straighten it. Imam Ibn al-Jazari said in At-Tamheed, وَاحْذَرْ إِذَا أَتَيْتَ بِالْغُنَّةِ أَن تَمُدَّ عَلَيْهَا فَذَلِكَ قَبِيحٌ. Beware of coming to the Ghunnah and extending it for more than 2 counts, for that is ugly. And many reciters recite like that, even if they have very nice pronunciation of the letters, and even if they have a very nice appealing voice, and even if they have a nice tune, a nice nagham, but when they come to the Ghunnah, they stretch the Ghunnah for 3 counts, 4 counts. Some of them I like very much. I was going to prepare actually a montage for you of some reciters reciting the Ghunnah too long, but then I felt that I can just demonstrate it for you and I don't have to put those reciters out there. Some people would recite, let's say, وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى. First ayah of Surah Al-Najm. وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى. Now for me, this is always a practice. I'm not reciting under the guise of being an expert. So I'm always trying to make sure I don't take my Ghunnah beyond 2 counts. وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى. So some reciters would say, for example, وَالنَّجْمِ. That's way too long. مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى وَمَا يَنطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. Here, وَمَا يَنطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. So I am attempting to not stretch that Ghunnah more than 2 counts. وَمَا يَنطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. Some reciters would say, وَمَا يَنطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. Way too long. That's way too long. And like that.